Well, good Saturday morning and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland. Hope you guys are all doing well today. And look at this. We have got ourselves a special guest. She's not looking at the camera because I don't have one of these. Ladies and gentlemen, the return of Blue, the dock jumping record store dog. She is going to be hanging out with us for the majority of the day today. She's world famous because, well, the internet's around the world, right? So, but if you haven't seen Blue in a while, she is visiting the store. So she's going to hang out here and she is laser focused on this treat. If I were to put it up here by the camera, she would do it. Okay, easy, Blue. There you go. All right. Hang out there, Blue. So how are you guys this morning? Let's see, a couple of good mornings to get out of the way. Mike says, hey, good morning, and good morning to Chuck as well. Pat says, good morning. The king of George Street. Not quite, but hey. Do you guys hire? Not right at the moment. I'm too busy paying Blue, so we'll go from there. But thank you, though. Gary says, good morning. Derek, good morning to you, as well as Jeff, morning as well to you. Joe on the west side, you're my boy, Blue, except she's a girl, but we get the sentiment, Joe. Good job with that. Mike, yep, Shop Dog visiting this morning. Scott says hi, as well as Rick and Annie from the west side. Beautiful day in Grand Rapids. Beautiful day here in Midland, Michigan as well. And it's a beautiful sunshiny morning, a little chilly, a little frost in the windows, but promises to be a very, very nice one. Blue is so patient and hanging out. So we'll see how long she decides to stay up there and hang out with us. She's probably going to lay down right now. So anyhow, let's get to this today. It was a busy release yesterday with a couple of big ones. We do have some stuff left, and we got some cool vintage vinyl in as well. I wanted to kind of cover with you guys. One of the ones that was released yesterday and did not make the video because I set it in aside because I was going to listen to one, and then I forgot to put it in the video when we shot that on Thursday night, was this not new, but a 2019 release from Billy Strings. This album is called Home. Important because this just won a Grammy, and Billy Strings won this, and I think it was for producing as well. But it's a bluegrass album. Now, I if you watched the record show last week, we talked a little bit about I talked about how my musical tastes are changing and evolving a little bit. And although I'm still not a huge fan of country music, bluegrass is making some inroads. So the likes of Billy Strings, and we have had some others like Bella Fleck and Leo Kottke as well for the older stuff, really kind of I'm starting to develop a bit of an affinity for. So when we saw that Billy Strings won the Grammy, and by the way, he is from West Michigan, I thought, well, let's give this a try. So we got a couple for the store, opened one up, and holy cow, do I love this. So this is going to be a subject of a review on the record show in the next week or two. We'll get to it, but wanted to talk a little bit more in depth about this, but I'm really kind of getting into his music. So we do have a couple of these in store, and we'll probably get a couple more. So speaking of bluegrass, before we get to the rest of the new releases, I have to call this up real quick here. I got a note yesterday from our friend Ken over at Ingram Entertainment, our distributor, that you can catch talking about new releases every Wednesday on the record show. Like and subscribe, by the way. I should have mentioned that. There is a release coming up, the part 2 from Sturgill Simpson, The Cut and Grass. The first one was released a few months back to critical acclaim, and some folks were really kind of digging it here at the store and elsewhere, so that there was a part 2 of that coming out. So to ride the hype on this, and excuse me while I call this up, the Sturgill Simpson folks have, let me scoot over here, announced a contest for indie record stores as part of a giveaway on this for the Cut and Grass Volume 2. I will put up the links to this on the Radio Wasteland Facebook page a little bit later today. We'll get to this, but you can visit the links provided and enter to win one of 50 prize packages being supplied by the record company, which includes a t-shirt, a slip mat, and 4 lucky winners will get a signed test pressing of the Sturgill Simpson Cut and Grass 2, which we'll release to stores in a couple of weeks on April 2nd. Now, the t-shirt, I'm told, is a glow-in-the-dark t-shirt, so we'll keep you up to date on that as well. But again, look for the link to this going up a little bit later today on our Radio Wasteland Facebook page, and I will make sure to get that out to you. Should be kind of a cool contest for you. Now, part of the contest, by the way, gives you a chance to mention your favorite record store. Wink, wink, wink. So if you enter into that Sturgill Simpson contest after we put that information up there, or if you already have, make sure you mention Radio Wasteland as your favorite record store, provided we're your favorite record store, of course. It could be, any other numbers of them. You may pick Target or Walmart as your favorite record store. Who knows? Did I say that? I didn't. I'm kidding. Don't choose those guys, for crying out loud. So, John, good morning. Good morning from the Sioux. It's probably nice and chilly up there as well this morning, John. Okay, so stay tuned. More details on the Sturgill Simpson stuff coming up a little bit later. Okay, onward to the rest of the new releases from yesterday. Big one yesterday was the one from Chris Cornell, No One Sings Like You Anymore. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. This was what he was working on when he died, and it is an album full of cover tunes. We opened one of these up for quality control yesterday when it came in, and there's just some great, great stuff on here. Patience and Nothing Compares to You, Watching the Wheels from Lennon as well. But it's a tremendously, I don't want to use the word haunting, but it's a very moving LP. It's just some great stuff if you are a fan of Chris Cornell. Now, we had some posters to give away. Those went quick. I only had 10 of them, the lithographs, limited edition of the cover. So those are all gone, but I still have, I think, 3 or 4 copies of this for the weekend. Yeah, we went through that many. We will get more of these next week, hopefully, if their supply has not been diminished. So if you want one this weekend, stop by and grab one while you can. Another new release from yesterday, doing pretty good, is Lana Del Rey. This is music this time, limited edition, yellow vinyl, Chemtrails Over the Country Club. We still have a couple of these left to go for you as well. And as we had talked about on last week's record show, Heather did a really nice review for us of the Motorhead and Lemmy Live to Win. We still have a couple of these left, speaking of great covers, one on red vinyl and one on pink vinyl. So get these while the getting's good. Got a couple more copies of the latest Coupe, Detroit Stories, 45 RPM. So check that out. And, we have been talking a little bit lately about the, just really the delays in getting a lot of pressings done because the pressing plants in the country are working overtime and having trouble keeping up. I'd like to think that backlog is starting to shake through a little bit because some of our back orders are showing up, and that includes some much sought after titles. We did get, I think, 5 copies of Nirvana's Nevermind in the other day, and we're down to 1. So I'll try to get more of these. The ever popular Violent Femmes we got, and we did get a couple copies of Nevermind the Bullock. So some of these older reissues are coming back into stock. So keep an eye on our videos for those as they show up. I forget, somebody was coming in the other day. It's actually supposed to be like this, but we'll hold it like this. It's the Fleetwood Mac with Peter Green, Mr. Wonderful reissue from a little while back, 2 or 3 weeks ago. We've got a couple of these left in stock, so swing by and grab that. And we had been mentioning this. It's the Dave Brubeck Quartet outtakes from the Time Out. They're the Time Outtakes. Let me get the light out of there. Previously unreleased tracks from the original 1959 sessions. Still have one of these, but then we also managed to grab, just to kind of go as a companion with it, the Time Out on vinyl. Now, this is, if you can't quite see, it is a music on vinyl release. So the sound quality on these are going to be absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. So I've got one of these left. These are actually fairly well available, and I'll try to keep them in stock for as long as they are not back ordered for the time being. Speaking of that, we landed an original 19 original. This is the 61. So it's a reissue, but still it's an early mono Columbia 6i version of Brubeck Quartet. Modestly priced for what these can go for. It's got a little bit of crackle here and there, but still sounds great. We gave that one a test spin in the store yesterday. And finally, and the used stuff that went through was a group called the Shags, The Philosophy of the World. This is the one and only reissue of their one and only album from the late 60s. I got to be honest here. We gave this a listen yesterday because Kurt Cobain listed this as number 5 on his list of 50 all-time favorite albums. Frank Zappa said the Shags were better than the Beatles. it's an acquired taste, just like Zappa is, I'm going to say. Interesting stuff nonetheless, but we do have one used copy of this on the shelf. If you ever find the original of this, by the way, snag it because it's way up there in value. The reissue, not so much. But as I mentioned, the Shags are going to be an acquired taste. So check that out. Hi from the UP. Yes, thank you very much. Mother on that side. So, okay. I also wanted to mention too, the restocks are not just coming in on the vinyl. We did get another really decent supply of our Midwest record source, the poly sleeves, the 3mm outer poly sleeves. We've got them in packs of 100 for $20, and I do have 50 packs of them now for those of you who don't need the larger amount of them from the Midwest music source. So Midwest record sleeves, rather. Stop in, pick them up. They're made in the U.S. That's what we use on all of our vintage vinyl when it hits the shelves. They all go into a nice little 3mm poly sleeve from Midwest. So pick them up to stock yourself up. We also have been restocked in our Spin Clean products. They're back in stock finally. I do have 3 of the base washers, one of the high-end systems with the extra fluid. And we are, if you're due for a refill on the fluid or some refreshing of the towels or new brushes, we have got plenty of these in stock now as well. I'll get some more groove washer brushes in the next week or so, but we will have them here for you to check out. Okay, I think that will just about do it. Let me see if I can get Blue to sit up again. All right, so just remember, Blue, there you go. There you go, Pup. Blue is hanging out with us for the majority of the day today. So if you want to stop by and say hi to Blue, her season is not starting yet, but it's getting closer. So she'll be doing another season of jumping. By the way, if you remember, Blue has her own Facebook page for when she does that little dock jumping thing that she does. Not little, it's pretty huge. She's still kind of a rock star in that. Not as much as some of these other dogs, but she holds her own for a lab of her size and age. Right there, Blueser? All right. Okay, so you guys, please feel free to stop by and see us today. We are here from now until 6 p.m. And then tomorrow, Sunday, Sam says, oh, the 5 outtakes are phenomenal. By the way, yep, cool, great. He's talking about the Brubeck stuff. So thanks, Sam. But we will be here today until 6 p.m. and then tomorrow, Sunday, from 12 noon until 5. Closed on Monday and Tuesday, and then back at her again for the week on Wednesday next week. Don't forget, if you are watching us on YouTube and or Twitch, I think I'm on Twitch right now as well. Not hearing anything from the Twitch folks. They're too busy sleeping in after playing video games all night. Sorry, Twitch. I'm kidding. I want to disparage them. But if you are watching us on any of those platforms, make sure that you like us on Facebook. And if you haven't done on YouTube yet, hit that subscribe button right there when we're all done. And to make sure you enable the notifications, ring that bell, because that way you will be notified when we put new videos up on YouTube. And speaking of the record show, as we were on Wednesday nights, we have got a couple of very special guests coming up over the course of the next few weeks. Some Michigan names that you may recognize. I'll leave that tease right there as well. Hubie says 80s rock. We'd love to get a hold of it as well. Eric says hi, Blue, as well. Hair bands, please. We're doing our best. We will try to get those. And Joe is LOLing at something. Probably just me and my haircut. So, and Tyler says hi to you guys this morning. All right, you guys have a great week. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to watch the record show Wednesday nights on YouTube and then posted to Facebook a little bit later. And for you on Twitch, as we mentioned, Sunday mornings now before I open the store, probably about 11:15-ish or so, we'll be streaming an album that I'm listening to as we get the store ready to open. But that'll be a Twitch exclusive on Sunday mornings, probably around 11:15, 11:30-ish, and we'll stream that album or a half album while I get the store up and running. So be sure to check that out on our Twitch account when you get a chance to. All right, you guys have a great weekend. And thanks for watching. We will talk to you next time from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland. Right, Blue? See you guys.